Hello there. Let me show you how to integrate Airtable with esignatures.io using mini extensions. This is really useful because you can send the URL to the person and then collect the signed document into Airtable. All of this happens automatically with this extension. To set it up, we need a name field, an email field, and these three empty fields. URL to sign. This will contain the URL that you can share with the users or the person that will sign the document. Contract ID. This contains a unique code for each signed record, and it can be cross-matched with esignatures.io. And then we have signed document, that it's an attachment field that will contain the PDF that will be generated after the user signs the contract. And finally, these four fields that we have here are custom fields. I have begin date, number of months, a service description, and a rate. You can have as many fields as you like and configure them as you need, but I will use this for my example. These custom fields will be populated into the contract, and then you will be able to see them in the signed document. I will show you in a while. To set up the extension, we just go and create the extension in our workspace. We search for e-signatures and we can select our table here. Now let me show you how to set up the extension. We have to configure the template ID. I will show you how to get it in a moment. The contract ID field, that is our contract ID field. Signed documents attachment field is this one called signed doc. The signer name Airtable field is called name, and email Airtable field is email. Now we add our custom fields. In this case, it's begin date, months, service, and rate. This extension runs by default on test mode. This is so you can test it as you like until you get your desired result, and then you can turn it off and you will be charged for each one of the contracts. But to configure and test, we can leave this as it is. And now we can go to esignatures.io. Here we have our dashboard, a template section, and an API section. If you don't have an account, you can create it. It's easy to do. And once you have it, you will see your templates here. You can create them. I will show you this one. That is a sample consulting agreement, and you can modify this as you like. You can give it format, you can insert more fields, but I will leave it as it is. These fields that you see between curly brackets are your custom fields, and they have to coincide with the name that you configured here in your custom fields. So you can directly copy the names and paste them here. As long as they are correctly named and between these double curly brackets, the data from your Airtable field will be imported into the contract. And you can find the ID right here. Once you click on it, it will be copied and you can use it on your e-signatures template ID field. The last step is to configure the API and automation section. You can copy your secret token from here, then go to your workspace settings and create a new API key for e-signatures. Select the correct type as esignatures.io API key. Here you paste the value and you can add a description. Once that is done, the last step is for us to configure the webhook endpoint. This URL that you see here is the mini extensions e-signatures webhook. Be sure to leave it here correctly configured and then hit save. If you change it or the webhook is not configured, then Airtable won't be able to have the signed document posted in this field. So remember to always check it. With everything in place, we can go to formula for document to sign copy it, and go back to Airtable. This formula needs to be pasted into a formula field. I will use this URL to sign field that I had created earlier. I will change its type to formula. And let's create it. This is the URL that you will share with your user so they can sign the contract. As you can see, it will take me to the sample consulting agreement template that we had created. And as we see here, this data is coming from the table. This date, the number of months, the consulting services, and the compensation. These were the custom fields that we configured here, and they are being correctly imported. Before signing the contract, let me show you how it looks like here. The contract ID field is now filled with this unique identifier. And if we go and then sign the contract, we will be able to see it right here in the signed document field. Here you can see everything imported from the fields. And here we have the audit trail. This is legally binding. You can see that it contains information for when the contract was viewed, when it was sent, when it was signed, and the unique ID. Now, if the user clicks on this URL again, they will now see a copy of the signed document. And since it's running on test mode, we will see these demo marks on every page. Now, this is very important. If you were to duplicate a record, you will see that the contract ID is also duplicated as well as the signed document. We need to get rid of these two if we want this record to have its own contract. Otherwise, you will just be redirected to this other contract ID. The signed document takes some time to show up. So if you can find it there after 5 minutes, please verify that you have the webhook correctly configured. You can find the webhook URL searching through our documents on the Integrate Airtable with e-signature section. Here you can copy it and verify that it's correctly pasted here. In this same API and automation section, you can find the monitoring of the recent requests, and here you can see if they succeeded or what happened. And that's it. If you have any questions about this or any other extension, please let us know, and we will be happy to help you.